Hi, I'm Ewan Jaspan. I'm the kite designer at Naish, and today we're going to talk about the 2026 Pivot Q Series. So the Pivot is like the core of the Naish lineup. It's the all-around kiteboarding kite. When I think about Pivot, I just think about true kiteboarding. I think about going out and being able to do all the amazing things that make kiteboarding such a diverse sport and just keep you coming back for more. It's really a sport where if you utilize all the different boards and disciplines we have, you'll never get bored and you feel like you've got 5 different sports all packed into one. So after 10 iterations of the Pivot, moving into 2026, it's really hard to think what to improve. The Pivot is such a great kite. We want to keep the core of what has made people love the kite year after year, but at the same time, we want to make the best Pivot ever. So what we've done, we've looked back over the years and we've looked at, parts of what we really enjoyed about every Pivot, and we've really focused on incorporating all these parts without losing anything. It's really a kite that you want to make as all-round as possible, and there's always going to be compromises when you try and go too far in one direction or the other, but for this year we really feel like we've maximized the potential of the Pivot in all areas. This year what we've really focused on is changing the materials and the leading edge. This has been quite a big undertaking. We've moved to a new blended leading edge construction, utilizing a more stiff dacron through the main part of the leading edge, creating rigidity and support in the frame so that in all wind strengths, your Pivot is going to look stiff, solid, and hold its original arc. To increase the turning ability and save weight, so in the struts and wingtips, we've utilized a lighter, more flexible dacron. What this allows the kite to do is twist and turn. Due to this rigid center of the kite, we needed to free the kite up a little bit into the wingtips and the struts so that you don't have that heavy feeling with a stiff leading edge. So what we've really come out with is the most solid Pivot of all time with a really nice light bar feel. So your on-water experience with the Pivot is really just a kite that's intuitive, does exactly what you want to do, it behaves really well. It doesn't backstall, it doesn't, fly somewhere you don't want, and you always know where it is even when you're not looking at the kite. This really allows the rider to progress from any stage in kiteboarding, from beginner level all the way up to top pro level. An intuitive kite is exactly what you want no matter where you are in kiteboarding. So if you're a customer looking at the market, thinking what kite do I want to buy, I think what really makes the Pivot stand out is just the heritage, the development, and the refinement that's gone into this kite. Obviously, it's a really great all-round kite that is going to allow you to do any discipline in kiteboarding, but the refinement, the history with the team, with Robbie, with our previous kite designers, with our current crew, there's so much knowledge has gone into the Pivot. So this year we really have the most advanced Pivot in history in terms of construction materials, weight, and the longevity that the kite will last. We have the SK99 bridle lines, which are super aerodynamic through the sky. They're really stiff, really low elongation, and they also break through the surface tension of the water really well on relaunch. We have new TPU bumpers which save weight and add really good durability to the kite when it's scuffing on the beach or something like that. We have seams going through the kite, diagonal load seams and the profile lock seam, which keep the canopy tight and transfer steering input throughout the kite as well, so you get a really nice crisp steering. And another great feature is the bridle adjustment on the Pivot, which lets you change between a high wind and a low wind setting. The high wind setting will help the kite fly further forward into the window and give a little bit less sheet in and go, a little bit more D-power, whereas the low wind setting will keep the kite sitting back a little further, giving you that more low end grunt. Other options for this as well, obviously on the tag we can only put high wind, low wind, but a high wind setting is good for people wanting to do more big air. It's good for people riding maybe more offshore, cross offshore wave riding conditions as well. And the low wind setting might be better for people wanting to ride in lighter wind hydrofoiling or more onshore wave conditions where you need the kite to sit back and drift a bit more and stay in the power zone. The low wind setting is also maybe better for beginners where you get a little bit more sheet in and go power and a little bit less of kind of back and forward on the kite. Overall, the 2026 Pivot Q Series is really just for that rider that wants to do everything. Whatever stage you're at in kiteboarding, if you want to enjoy the sport to the fullest, grab yourself a Pivot. So the Pivot Q Series versus the Pivot Nvision, who would choose which? If you want a tried true, great bomber kite that does it all at a great price point and the highest quality construction on the market, you will go to the Pivot Q Series. If you want to turbocharge everything, get the best of the best, yes, it comes at a higher price tag, but if you're willing to pay for the highest performance on the market, go to the Pivot Nvision. No matter which kite you choose, you're going to end up with a great performing kite and you'll never be disappointed.